What's up, everybody? How's it going today? Just wanted to shoot you a video. I promised that I'd be in here live, giving you guys value and content. And so here we go. One of the things that I think is really, really important for us on a regular basis, but even more important right now with all of the turbulence and challenges and everything else, is to figure out what kind of business you are actually in. And I'm going to explain what that means in a minute. But hey, Molly, I got to ask you, are you here on the live just to give me more of your bullshit? Or are you here like genuinely because you want to hear what's going on? What's up, Michael? Good to see you, man. Glad you guys are here. So one of the things, there's a story that I want to share with you guys. You guys, like, I can't pay attention to the comments. You guys are going to make me laugh and take me off track. So years ago, I was in the fortunate position to be able to meet with a bunch of IBM executives. I was working at HSBC at the time, and they invited us to their called their Watson Labs outside of New York City. And we got there, and it was like 2 days of basically us sitting in a room, and they're rotating through some of their senior members of their executive team. And it was really cool, people who are running a gigantic organization and everything like that. But the second day, this lady walks in, and she was, executive vice president of, some big division at that point. But she came in, and she was just like, I don't even know how to explain it. She was just like steely and like battle hardened. And you could tell like she would just plow through anything and just dominate any challenge that came her way. And I was so impressed by her and what she said and everything that afterwards I walked up to her and I said, hey, tell me a little bit about your story. Cause she had started at the very bottom of the organization and just worked her way up the ladder. Now she's, executive vice president of, some division or something like that. And I said, what was the key? Like, what was the single biggest key that helped you get to the position that you're at in the organization? And she looked at me straight in the eyes. Like I almost got knocked out. She looked at me like with such determination. She said, there's one secret. And I was like, I need you to tell me that secret right now. And she said, my secret is that I have never wasted a good crisis. And I was like, wow, that's unexpected and very powerful all at the same time. And I've never forgotten that because it was so like kind of in my face. Interestingly enough, that same woman, I think within 6 or 12 months of us having that conversation, she became the CEO of IBM. She's been the CEO of IBM for like the last 8 years, I guess, 7, 8 years, something like that. And she's stepping down next month, but she's been the CEO of one of the biggest companies in the world. And her number one lesson was never waste a good crisis. And so the reason that I want to bring that up here with you guys today is obviously, we're all going through a lot of change and crisis and turmoil and turbulence and everything right now. And the natural reaction is to shrink down. The natural reaction is to, focus on all of the things that are happening. But people like her who are saying, you know what, I'm not going to waste this crisis, are the people who are going to level up, the people who are going to grow, the people who are going to serve at a higher level and accomplish more during this entire situation. And when I say never waste a good crisis, the last thing in the world that I would ever intend for that to mean is that you do unethical things like the idiots who were on Amazon and trying to sell Purell for 20 times the price they paid for it. Like that is capitalism and humanity at its worst, right? But when I'm saying never waste a good crisis, what I'm saying is, how can you use this time to transform yourself? How can you use this time to transform your business? How can you use this time to serve at a higher level? And there's never a better opportunity to do that than in a situation with as much uncertainty as what we're going through right now. And so I kind of want to pre-frame what I wanted to teach you guys today with that as the backdrop. And so wanting to not waste a crisis, right? One of the things I think is incredibly important for us to do on a regular basis and evaluate on ongoing is to really identify, well, what business am I actually in? And here's what I mean by that. In many cases, a lot of times people will say, well, I'm in the I'm a photographer, or I'm in the cosmetic space, or we sell flowers, right? Like one of my companies sells flowers, or we do this or we do that, right? We kind of think that the business that we're in is the product or the service that we're offering to people. And the truth of the matter is, it's not, right? That's when we zoom in, right? And one of the things that we need to be really, really diligent about doing right now is we need to zoom out, and we need to zoom out and identify what business that we're in. And one of the frameworks that I really like to use to go through this, and when I go through this for myself or when I'm working with other people or whatever, is to realize that there's different layers to your business, right? There's the product or the service that you offer to people. That's kind of the lowest level, right? And that has features and things that people are going to experience as part of that. Then you go up a level, and there's the benefits, right? And everybody in marketing tells you, okay, well, it's features and benefits, and that is true, but I think it's incomplete, right? You've got features, okay, I'm just going to use our roses as an example. Our roses are this long, and the heads are the size of baseballs, and they last for 10 days or 2 weeks, right? Those are the features. What are the benefits? Well, benefits are that you're going to experience all this fragrance and joy and everything is as you have them, and you're going to experience feelings of happiness potentially, unless you hate roses, right? And but the next level is the highest level, and that's the level that we have to go to on a regular basis. But it's the level that we have to go to right now in particular, because when we pivot, when we need to innovate, when we need to adjust things, we need to be clear, what is the human need that we are serving as a result of this? Because nobody does anything unless they know and believe it's going to meet one of their needs. Okay. And this framework of the 6 human needs is something that I learned from Tony Robbins years ago. And it's extremely powerful when you apply it, right? It's like, at first it was one of these things where you're just like, okay, well, that makes sense. But when you think about the application, and the application as it relates to the business that you're running right now, it's incredibly powerful. So what are the 6 human needs? Well, so the first human need is certainty. Okay, every single one of us as humans craves a degree of certainty. We want to know what's going to happen, right? What human need is every single person on planet Earth now trying to grasp at, right? We are all in a phase of uncertainty. We all are craving that certainty that we had a week, a month, 2-3 months ago, right? We're like, man, our certainty is gone, right? So one of the human needs that we crave is certainty. The next human need that we crave is the opposite of certainty. It's uncertainty or variety, right? We want to avoid monotony. We want change of pace. We want things to, kind of feel like they're exciting and they're new and different things are happening, right? And we can have, we can want and have multiple needs at the same time, but we're going to meet them in different ways. The third need is significance. Okay, so we want to feel important. We want to feel like, we matter. We want to feel like we're seen. We want to feel like, people know who we are, or people appreciate what we do, right? That's the need for significance. Then we have a need for love and connection, right? We want to connect with our fellow humans. We want to connect with those people that we care about, those people that we love. We want to connect with a cause. We want to connect with, our animals, right? We want to connect with a whole variety of different things, but we have this need for love and connection. We also have a need, number 5, is the need for growth, right? We want to feel like we're expanding. We want to feel like we're making progress. We want to feel like things are improving. And that's such an important one, especially for us as entrepreneurs. Like, a lot of us are very growth oriented. And the last one, number 6, is contribution. We want to feel like we're making a contribution. want to feel like what we're doing is like making a difference to other people, and that the effort and the energy that we're putting out is meaningful and it matters, right? And so the reason that that I want to bring this up in the context of this conversation is because when you zoom out on your business, which in a challenging time is especially important, because you need to say, what business am I really in, right? Going back to the rose business, and yes, Sergio, my business partner in that is here. Yes, we sell flowers. Going back to that business, the need that we meet is love and connection, right? We are the product that we serve is really just a vehicle to help people meet their need of connection, right? Look at some other things as examples. If you offer a super premium service of some kind, then there's a chance that you're meeting the need of certainty and significance. People want to make sure they're going to have a certain outcome, and they also want to feel like they're important while that is happening for them. And so what I encourage you guys to do right now is to really drill in onto what are the needs that I am meeting. What business am I actually in? Am I in the significance business? Am I in the certainty business, right? What my consulting company, we build systems. We teach people about systems. We teach people about, how to hire people and make sure that you don't hire the wrong people and how to manage people and all that. Like, that's certainty, right? We sell certainty. What it looks like is these different things that help people do certain things, but we're selling certainty. So you got to be clear what you're selling, because if you can zoom out far enough and you can anchor back to the core human need or needs that your business is meeting for people, it makes it much easier for you to pivot and or innovate around how else, besides the current thing that may or may not be working right now, could I continue to meet the needs of those customers. So I'd love to hear in the comments below, after you guys are all done with talking your smack and everything else, leave comments below, like what human needs are you meeting with your business? And how is that the springboard to start thinking about additional ways that you can meet those needs, right? Even if nothing is wrong with your business now, and there are plenty of businesses where they're doing great. I had a conversation with a guy on my podcast earlier who talked about, the multiple businesses that he's involved in. Some of them are skyrocketing right now. There's a lot of opportunity in e-commerce and different niches and things like that. So not everybody is necessarily suffering across the board from a business perspective in the same way right now, right? So some businesses are going to take off, some are not. But what you can do, whether this is a good time for you, a tough time, or anywhere in between, is to say, okay, what need do we meet? What need do we meet? How else could we meet this need? And then you're going to discover a way to pivot. You're going to discover new ways, new services, new features, new benefits that you can use to meet those needs for people, and you free things up, right? It's time that you get out of seeing everything right here and take a step back and say, okay, we're all people. And one of my favorite things that I ever heard was somebody who said, well, where does money come from? Everyone's like, well, money comes from here. Money comes from other people, period, end of story, right? So we're all in the people business. We are all in the human needs business, right? Which one of those human needs is your business designed to serve? Which one of them is designed to meet, right? Stacy Martino, who volunteered to have a hot seat later this week to figure out her remote working situation, which is going to be a great conversation, and I hope you guys join in for that. She's in the love and connection business. Her and her husband Paul are helping people have and transform their relationships, right? She's in the love and connection business, and so you've got to zoom out. You've got to be clear what needs you're meeting. And so I'd love to hear from you guys. What needs does your business meet? How can you innovate on that? How can you pivot on that? And so that's the message that I want to bring you guys today. I am overwhelmed by the amount of people in this group already. I'm overwhelmed by the caliber of people in this group. I'm so appreciative that you guys are here with me. Yesterday or Sunday, this was an idea, And here we are doing it. And I think it's the coolest thing in the world. I'm thrilled to be able to facilitate this group with you guys and to help you guys truly build bulletproof businesses that will not only withstand the current storms that we're all experiencing, but thrive and be solid and just like super incredible businesses as we pull out of that. So thank you guys for being here, and I'll talk to you guys later.